loves to hate on the Houston Texans, and they kind of brought it to themselves, but we will be talking about can the Houston Texans flip a switch when it comes to the playoffs? What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new episode of The Lead. Your host, as always, Harley Dugan. This is The Lead Houston, where it's all Houston all the time. You're never going to find anybody with more passion speaking about your favorite Houston sports teams than this guy right here. Astros, Rockets, Texans. I try to do it all. So go down in the comment section. Let me know. Can the Houston Texans flip the switch? Can they actually go into the playoffs thinking with the mindset that this is a whole new season? The previous 18 games are done with, and we can now move forward. And with this offense and the struggles that it has had, can the Houston Texans, just like that, get it going one more time? Similar offense to last year. Give me this year's defense. And I think this team is a very successful playoff team. We got a clip here to react to from Will Kunkel, friend of the show, who actually asks and tries to answer that question himself. I'm excited to get into this. While you're at it, guys, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. We're on the road to 12,000 subscribers, under 100 away. So make sure you are subbed to the channel. Man, I appreciate every single one of y'all, man. So happy holidays. We're past it now. We're moving into January 2025, and the Texans will be taking on the Los Angeles Chargers in hopefully a really good win. I am predicting a win because I don't predict losses here on The Lead Houston all the time. Let's get into this real quick with Will Kunkel.
Phrase, it's kind of an old phrase, but it rings true, especially right now for the Texans, that the playoffs is a brand new season. Like, the regular season was not what the Texans wanted, especially on the offensive side of the ball. But now it feels like they have so much more energy and so much more juice going into this game against the Chargers. And you can feel that when Joe Mixon talked about what it takes to win at this level.
The time is now to strike. It ain't no next year. It ain't none of that. You know what I'm saying? It's right now. And what you going to do with your opportunity? Like I said, you got to put your best shit on tape. And I feel like I said, right now, we primed to do that. You know, I just keep trying to have my guys, the eyes on the prize, you know what I'm saying? And I just keep telling them, man, look, you win this game, you win next game, that's the AFC Championship. I've been there before. I know what it takes.
Now, when we talked to C.J. Stroud, he admitted that the offense did not reach the standard that they wanted during the regular season, but they have legitimate belief that now is the time for the offense to start clicking. So I asked him, like, why do you believe that now after 18 weeks of the offense struggling to get going? And he reiterated what Joe said. It's a new season. No stats are on the board. You get that extra pep in your step. It's a long season, said Joe, until it's not a long season, which is where we are now. First round of the playoffs, Chargers and Texans, Saturday, right here at 3:30. We're going to have a whole lot more on this game tonight at 9 o'clock, guys.
So at the very beginning of this clip, Will Kunkel, let's replay the very beginning real quick.
You know that phrase, it's kind of an old phrase, but it rings true, especially right now for the Texans, that the playoffs is a brand new season. Like, the regular season was not what the Texans wanted, especially on the offensive side of the ball. But now it feels like they have so much more energy and so much more juice going into this game against the Chargers. And you can feel that when Joe Mixon talked about.
He talked about there's some new energy within the Houston Texans, knowing that the regular season is over and the playoffs are here. Look, I'm trying to grab any glimmer of hope, any silver lining for the Houston Texans to have success in the playoffs. We all know this team can be a damn good football team, and they did not reach the expectations they were supposed to reach this year. We all know that. We can acknowledge it, but guess what? That's done with. This is the playoffs. If the Houston Texans cannot turn the page, and I get it, 18 weeks of football, it is going to be extremely tough to turn the page just so nonchalantly, like the offense just had a few kinks to fix. No, this offense was disgusting. It was an inept offense from beginning to the end of the season, besides maybe the Colts game. Week 2 to week 18, this offense could never get going. And the problem there is the root of the problem is obviously the offensive line. We can talk about Bobby Sloy. We can talk about CJ Stroud. We can talk about little D'Amico Ryans. We can get into all of those characters that have to basically make sure the offense is doing its job. But the root is the O-line. And if the O-line can just, again, a glimmer of hope. Will Kunkel mentioned it. There's a new energy that he felt in the locker room, knowing that the playoffs are here. Joe Mixon is a been there, done that kind of guy. He'd been to the Super Bowl. He didn't win it, but he went all the way to the Super Bowl with the Cincinnati Bengals and unfortunately lost to the LA Rams. But if anyone's going to be talking and listening, you're going to be listening to Joe Mixon, and Joe Mixon's going to be talking, and you should be all ears. This Houston Texans team, Laramie Tunsil mentioned it as well too. It's a new season. You know, this is the playoffs. This is where the best come out to play, right? This is where we shine the brightest. Why not us? You know, the Houston Texans are going to continue carrying that mindset. They're being doubted heavily. National media is definitely making us the joke of the AFC right now because everyone has penciled in the LA Chargers in the divisional round against whoever. And the Houston Texans are just that 330 team that's going to be pushed around and it's going to be a blowout. No. It ain't going to be that easy. The Houston Texans are going to get this dub. I'm telling y'all right now, there is way too many checks that are not going to be able to be cashed by the national media and the LA Chargers. The Houston Texans, if they come out looking like a brand new team and the offense looks like it could get going, I am hoping, and the fan in me is creating this delusion, but damn it, I'm going to continue to spread some optimism because there's too much negativity. The Houston Texans could come into this playoffs and look completely different. It's going to be scary hours for the rest of these teams in the AFC. As always, guys, go Astros, go Rockets, go Texans. You have a blessed day.